Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Daily D. Today's topic is investing in yourself. Now, I've probably covered this many times before, and this is a topic that's near and dear to my heart because I believe many people today don't understand that the investment in themselves is more important than the investment out into the world. You see, many people believe that when they come into a little money, they got to go invest it somewhere. Where am I going to put my money? What am I going to do with it? Should I go to Robinhood? I know more people who put more money into a Robinhood account today than they've ever put into themselves. Now, there are many ways to put into yourselves. Yesterday, I talked about self-care and self-development, if you will, or self-care rather. And when I talk about self-care, one of the things that I talk about for an example, or what I mean by that is, you should always constantly looking to improve your health and your wealth and your mental capabilities through many ways. Like for an example, if I were to tell you this, I mean, how many of you have actually gone to the doctor and got a physical lately? Just a physical to determine how healthy you are. How many times you got your blood work done in the last 12 months? How many times without being required to, if you will? I'm not saying because most people do it because they're required to, but what about if you just did it for your own purpose? That's self personal development. How many of you invested in a gym membership? And if you probably have one and you don't go, here's what I'll tell you: you're not paying enough to the gym. That $10 a month is easy to forget about. Make it $100, make it $200, make it $300, and then you'll show up. That's personal development. How many books have you read? How many videos have you watched? How many courses have you attended? How many events have you attended? And if none of this is happening right now, trust me, you don't have to be anywhere. You don't have to travel. You don't have to go anywhere. It could be from the comfort of your own home, from your cell phone, just like you're watching this video. Now, watching this video is a form of personal development in some respects, but it's not the end all to be all. I want you to understand that making conscious decisions is more important than being forced to do it. And so some respect, if you're watching this video, maybe it's a requirement of my or in a contingency of employment. But what if it wasn't? Would you still do this? Would you still watch it? You see, personal development to me is core. It's a core belief of mine. I believe that everybody must develop oneself on a daily basis. How many times are you thinking about this on a daily basis? Some people invest more in Robinhood. Some people invest more in gambling and lottery tickets. Some people invest more in their license to serve alcohol at a bar because they have a TABC license. Some people invest more in their driver's license than they'll ever invest in themselves. And every dollar that you invest in yourself, you get back 10 times. I mean, even if it's your health, for an example, going to get your blood work done once a year to determine if you're healthy, right? What you're doing is, if you do that one small investment, that could add 10 years to your life. What if it finds something that could be wrong with you that you can improve upon right now? What if you're deficient in something? What if you have something that you need to treat right away? These are the things that I think about every day, because personal development is more. It's way more than just watching a YouTube video and reading a book, although those two things really do help. Now, here's the kicker for me. When I learned about in personal development, which was many, many years ago, and it was through some associations that I had, I didn't believe in that power. I didn't believe that it was what it was. I read a few things. I saw a few good quotes. I went to a few conferences that were required of me, and I heard some people talking. I was like, wow, that stuff means so much. It's so powerful. It connects with me. But I didn't take initiative. I didn't do it myself. I was only doing it when it was around me. I didn't make a commitment to make it in front of me, right? When it was around me, I'd be like, oh, that's a good speech and that's a good talk. I would see that. But then when I started to make a commitment to get it in front of me, which means I actually paid attention, it changed my life. In 2014, I went through some difficult financial struggles, and those difficult financial struggles revolved around my business. I had overcommitted to growth. Actually, I don't believe you can overcommit. Let's just say I committed to growth that I couldn't handle. I borrowed money I couldn't afford to pay back. I didn't believe that I could fail. I didn't have a contingency plan. Now, I don't believe all these things need to be in place for you to grow, but I do believe that I didn't have a lot of that. And because I didn't have those things, what happened is I almost failed. I literally went to $1 million in debt. I laid off a lot of people I didn't want to lay off. I closed stores. I had to reorganize my business. I had to pay some people back. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I had to literally, cut down on everything in my life, from the way that I lived to the expenses that we had. I went so deep into what I needed to do. And I did that through discipline. Over the next 18 months, I got myself out of a hole. Now, I did that not just because I was really smart or anything. What I did is I looked for people who were smarter than me. I read books. I invested in myself. In fact, that year, without having any money, I invested into a Tony Robbins program. If you don't know who Anthony Tony Robbins is, he's the man in personal development. And I didn't need him to teach me how to run my business. I needed him to teach me about me. And that's what I learned. I learned a lot about me before I can learn about business, before I can learn about taxes, insurance, coaching, consulting, sales. Before I need to control my mind. And that's what Tony helped me do. In fact, I paid over $20,000 to Tony Robbins to help me get there. Now, you're probably thinking, man, that's a lot of money and you must be rich. No, I wasn't. I put that all on credit. He said, hey, I'll lend you the money. You go to the back of the room. I didn't have excellent credit. I didn't have a lot of money, but I committed. I committed hard. I sat there and I said, this is a huge commitment, but this is a commitment I need to make. And once I made that commitment, it changed my whole life. It made me start focusing on things. It made me work harder because I had to pay back that debt. It made me show up more. It made me commit to a higher level. And you know what? Today, I am so blessed because of it. So I'm telling you right now, if you have not committed $20 to a book, if you haven't committed $100 to a course, if you haven't committed $5,000 to an event, if you haven't even committed to watching a YouTube video in 10 minutes, while you're taking a shower, step up. Personal development's the way to go. All right, guys, I wish you nothing but health, wealth, success, but most importantly, freedom. Have a great day, guys.